Well, it's great to be with you. My name is Cameron, one of the pastors here among our family of churches at Highland Park. Pres, so grateful to get to be joined alongside Scott Sauls, author, but also senior pastor of Christ Presbyterian Church in Nashville, Tennessee. Scott has just preached for us here at Highland Park, Pres in Dallas, on the power of a gentle answer. And so we wanted to just do a brief follow-up question and answer. And Scott, thank you so much for taking a little time to sit down with us.
My pleasure, Cameron.
Absolutely. So I want to get into, again, just the power of a gentle answer. I think for so many of us as followers of Jesus, when we think about this word gentle, we associate it with being nice or non-confrontational. Mm-hmm. But when you look at Jesus in the Gospels, it seems like there's something just qualitatively different. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit more about that. What does it mean to be gentle, and why is that so countercultural in our day?
Well, being gentle is countercultural because gentleness is such a rare feature anymore, at least in the public space of social media, cable news, talk shows. One writer from the New York Times named Tim Kreider actually coined a term called outrage porn, where he says that there's this ubiquitous thirst or hunger or hunt to find something to be offended by, and then to, pounce on it and, form your tribe and declare a common enemy. And so much community anymore is built around that. And so to come into that kind of public space with the fruit of gentleness and add to it the other fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, there's gentleness, and self-control, and you get something radically counterculture. Yeah. Now, counterculture doesn't mean against the culture, it means different than. It means set apart from. It means distinct and unique in comparison to. And in terms of Christ, to your question, he was unequivocally gentle and kind, especially with those who were weak, tired, beaten up, sinners who were aware of how short they fall of the glory of God, and sufferers who were aware of how much they need help outside of their own resources. He had such a tender, gentle, soft, kind-hearted, welcoming way. Yeah. Whether you're talking about a guilty woman caught in the act of adultery, or whether you're talking about a tyrant like Saul of Tarsus, who is just blinded and realizes that he's been living all wrong up to this point. Yeah. Christ has a version of welcome and rest for any kind of person who's been brought to a place of humility. Now, where his gentleness is contrasted, this is where you get the lion side instead of the lamb side of Jesus, is when he confronts or is confronted by somebody who's filled with pride, somebody who's filled with self-righteousness, somebody who believes that all the problems with the world are other people. That's when Jesus tends to get more confrontational, more prophetic, more in your face, as it were, and his gentleness and his prophetic spirit are not contradictory. They actually work together. And sometimes even in the very same moment, and in this very same behavior of being confrontational in one direction is actually being experienced as gentleness from the person standing behind him whom he is protecting, maybe from bullies or from antagonists or, judgy, people or communities. This group of people may be experiencing Jesus confrontational, whereas people he's defending and protecting are experiencing him as gentle and kind and protective.
So good. Mm-hmm. So well said. So needing both the gentleness and the confrontational, they're one and the same. They're not mutually exclusive. Well said.
That's right.